Welcome to No Match for a Blaster, a Star Wars role-playing podcast, Season 2, Episode 7, Cons and Credits. I'm your host and First Order Weapon Calibrator, Ito Davis. If you're new here, No Match for a Blaster is an actual play podcast featuring the Morality Plays crew playing the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games. It's time to thank our Nerf Herders of the Week, Kelly Carell and David Ruth. At this level, David and Kelly get access to our exclusive Patreon feed and listen to our episode days early. Plus, they get to name an NPC on the show. Thank you, patrons. To be our next Blasterhead or Nerf Herder of the Week, be sure to subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. Got a comment or question for the show? Message us at Facebook at No Match for a Blaster or on Twitter at No Match Podcast. So, everybody be cool. Those Forge IDs will work fine, I'm sure, because we're returning to the crew of the Atheon as they're heading deep into the Getz constructor station.
Open Moff Sposek's intelligence log. Upon learning of a potential lapse in First Order security, the New Republic Defense Force has sent a small team led by Captain Remy Drobash to retrieve what intel they can. The mission has led the crew to the Getz constructor station, where they intend to pose as merchants selling highly specialized parts. Though the would-be spies have gone undetected thus far, their mission to infiltrate the maintenance bay has only just begun. Close intelligence log.
Alright, I guess S4 is gonna stay here and watch the ship.
If that's what you would like, Captain.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if S4 might be the best to sneak onto the other ship? Or if we all should. I don't know. I guess we'll think about it. Let's go get a drink.
The one who actually knows anything about mechanics.
So, the card that you get, you notice that some people have these on, like, lanyards and stuff like that. Allows you to get through the secure door systems. So you're able to move, for the most part, in the civilian/crew area. No, it's mostly civilian areas. It looks like that this is more of a First Order addition. So you see the big First Order panels on a lot of the powered doors. So it's going to be a little tougher to split the party unless there's some hacking involved. So if you ask for S4 to come with you later, he'll have to do a bit of the computer skullduggery. Also, if you can split the party. So one person is free to move around if they have the card or if you're as a group. I'm not saying you shouldn't, just saying it's there.
So we have like a little card that'll get us places. Yeah. I guess technically we could alternatively steal somebody else's.
Yeah.
And pop around with that. Just as options that are available to us.
Right.
So you're in this pretty massive hangar area. You start to leave the area, the quadrant that the Atheon is in, which was way more secure. As you move across from that more into the general area, there are many cargo ships of medium size in here. And you see a lot of grumpy people kind of standing and milling around their ships. You know, they've essentially got the fold-out chair on the outside and just kind of dozing because they've been here for a while, probably. Mm-hmm. There is a door access way towards the back of the cargo bay that goes more into the station, and you do see people go through there sometimes. They do have 4 more troopers and an officer near the door that seem to be mostly kind of just generally monitoring that people do swipe a card. as they go by.
Okay. Wonder if S4 could replicate these cards.
That's a good idea. We'll ask him in a little while. In the meantime, let's keep an eye out for somebody who's maybe had a little bit too much, and maybe we could pick theirs up if they drop it.
If we need to do that, we would probably want to use it quickly. They should be able to... they might be able to track who has it and when it's being used. So they could be able to track it down.
All right.
So most of the people you see in here are civilians. You do see like one or two like gray jumpsuited kind of people who are more than likely station workers, but in here is mostly the civilians. You can also infer this is not a bed and breakfast. This is like they're keeping people here for many, many, many days. And it's not like they have facilities to show them that people are living out of the ships.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do we find a kind of, an area where they're like congregating and, have set up sort of a cantina?
So the cantina is a real place that would be inside the station. So do you want to go through that checkpoint?
Wait, to get into the cantina?
So right now you're in the hangar.
We have to go through a checkpoint to get into the cantina.
Sorry, you have to go through a checkpoint to leave the docking bay and to go more into the station, where you just swipe your card.
For that, I want to bring S4 with us.
Okay.
If we do.
Okay. So should we pick up S4 and go to the cantina? The optimal place for a droid.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can, but I guess I was just gonna wait and see what they said,
Okay.
because they're gonna be looking for us in a couple hours.
Sure.
I would rather wait and try and infiltrate when I don't think they're gonna be looking for me.
All right. Well, if we're not going to the cantina yet, I might mill around and see if I could find anything out just from people.
Hey, you know what skill that would be?
Is it charm?
Do streetwise.
Great. I'm so wise.
What? I have streetwise. I have
the
one
first
yellow,
time we get to use
two
streetwise.
green.
Yeah. No, this is the second time. They use street.
Second time.
They
we
use streetwise to find Ushal, and Bobby wasn't there.
And I wasn't there. Because I was Ushal.
How difficult?
So it's going to be easy, but you're going to get a black die because even though you're kind of asking around, you have to keep things secret.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, 2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay, so what are you trying to do? You're just trying to
Gather information.
just talk to people?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. You talk to a few people. It's kind of like it's like the worst music festival everywhere. It's just kind of ever. People are just kind of hanging around. They're kind of sitting. They're mostly kind of lethargic. Some are playing Dejarik. Some are playing Dejarik with clay pieces because they're not inside their ship. They're outside. And
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
There's this new thing going around where people are playing Dejarik, like, physically, with physical pieces.
Yeah, you find out that some of these people have been, that they took over the station, week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and some of these people have been here from then. There was definitely a bit of some did fight back at the start of it, and it did not go well for those people. The actual workers at the repair station have fallen a little more in line. There's a lot of muttering, but the First Order is trying to keep information kind of separate from the civilians, quote-unquote, y'all, and the mechanical staff and crew. The projections that the mutterings are that the Star Destroyer could be done in a week, if the supplies that they're
Only
wanting
they had
for.
more of these MacGuffins.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, we've hit a delay. What happened? I said MacGuffins, not McMuffins. Get out of here. What's wrong with you?
Oh no, the breakfast is ruined.
Oh no, some family is sitting down to a nice warm meal and they're going to get nothing but plot devices. It's the dumbest joke. Okay, so yeah, is there anything else specifically you're trying to ask about?
I mean, not particular. Well, I want to know. I want to know, like, what some of these people were paid for their conduit relays, and I want to know how far in anybody's tried to get. Like, is it a, and I'm going to ask it in a way like, is it a bet, like, to see how far people can get into the base?
So some people who have expertise have been allowed to go farther into the base, but some also kind of feel like it's a bit of press ganging, where the First Order want to get this done so quickly, and that they have been taking other ships, like main engineers and stuff like that, and kind of press ganging them into the workforce to get the project done as quickly as possible. They say they have been paid very handsomely, but then there's a small sect of them that are like, yeah, it doesn't matter, though, because they'll just take the credits off our dead bodies once they're done with us. So there is a little bit of fear of that. And, like, they are incredibly negative about the Surrett's imports. Some of them talk about how they've worked with them before and they seemed okay, but this is crazy. Essentially, you feel like whatever is going on here and this whole big push to repair these, they've completely given up on trying to keep the cover. They either are going to completely give up the cover of Surrett's imports, or they'll have to murder every single civilian. You're not sure which. The First Order's in a weird transitional period where they could still want to be Cloak and Dagger, or they're just done with it and just, going, traipsing through the countryside.
All right. Mm-hmm. Great. Those are two great pieces of information I want to know.
Oh, I can give you a name, too, of the person who's in charge.
Let me go to my notes.
And is this the person that we met, or the person who's in charge of the whole project? Okay. Did we get a name for the person we met?
The officer? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Admiral Thrall Bayal. This particular NPC name was given to us by a Patreon.
Hooray!
This is from Eddie, actually.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, Eddie.
Okay.
You don't know any information about this particular admiral. He hasn't ever pinged on anything before.
Okay. Got it. All right, we go back to the ship because I need to talk to S4.
So, they seem worried that they might not get out of this. That's kind of a legitimate fear. Are we just going to leave them after we've done this? We can't do that, right? There's a lot of civilians here.
Yeah, we'll see if we can maybe turn that to our advantage somehow. In the meantime, I think S4 might be able to get past a bit more security a little bit easier than I was expecting.
Sure, I guess if they want to press gang him into working for them.
Right.
I hate these guys. I hate them so much.
You get back to the ship. It looks like they are slowly taking your cargo off of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help them if they ask me.
No. It's all right.
They're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is some gray coverall people.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there are aliens among the gray coverall people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there not aliens, like...
In the First Order? Negative.
Around? Everywhere?
Around? Yeah, but not a ton.
Are they... like, a multitude of types of aliens, or...
There's some Rhodians, there's...
Okay.
Yeah. You know, no Twi'leks or anything, really. Just as a contrast to the First Order.
I board the ship and go to talk to S4.
S4M is in the conference room trying to get the conference table to bring the ping pong screen back up. But it keeps coming up red and he can't get it not to.
So you have Virtual Boy ping pong.
Yes.
Welcome back, Captain. I've been having difficulties.
With
What's
what?
up, S4?
I can't get it not to be red.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Listen.
Yes?
I have an idea. They are looking for engineers and people who know how to work on ships to try and expedite the process of fixing that Star Destroyer. I think if you're okay with it...
He reaches into his chest and switches to the First Order restraining bolt and says, "Oh no, I've been press gang, Captain."
Good.
Please, please, no, don't make me work on the ship.
Perfect.
So I need you to find blueprints, repair orders, whatever you can find out without exposing yourself. That's what I need you to get for me. Strengths, weaknesses, anything you can get. Does that sound like something you can do?
I can certainly attempt it, Captain. What other sorts of information might you want from the ship's databanks?
Well, right now, isn't a main part of this mission to figure out what happened to the people from the marathon? We want to know about any research that they've been working on, about where they might be taking prisoners.
Very well.
Yeah, and if you can get some access to some of the overall movements of this First Order, maybe where some other bases are, where some other space stations that they may be working on repairing the rest of their fleet, other strategic information, all that would be very useful.
Do you know which way I need to go in order to access the ship?
No, but I think I'm gonna have to talk to that guy again and negotiate it. I think we may even be able to get them to pay us to give you a shot at getting some information out.
If you negotiate with them, Captain, they'll probably put an actual restraining bolt on me.
Possibly. That one looks like it's pretty good, though.
Yes, but if you go now and negotiate with them, and he comes to see me, why would I already have a restraining bolt on?
I'll switch it back out to the other one, the one that matched my age.
If you're going to negotiate with him, perhaps he'll send me somewhere to get it done, and then I can just put this on and go where I need to go, Captain.
Yeah, let's hope that's the case.
Very well.
Before that, we do have this pass, and she will kind of point to the card that Remy has. Do you know how to replicate those? We've only got the one right now.
I don't have the blank pieces I would need to make a new one. Could you steal one? I could potentially switch the identities.
It doesn't necessarily need to be an exact replica. It just needs to have the same function.
Let me see.
Alright, Ito, can I reproduce the effects of this card with something I could, plug into The same kind of port without actually reproducing the card?
So it's kind of like a like those what do you call them?
Like a hotel card?
It's like a hotel key. Yeah, you don't have the plastic. You don't have. So if somebody's watching, you don't have the material to make a blank. You can ghost it if you do a hard mechanics for me.
Okay, I will give it a shot. 3 successes and a threat.
Okay. So, you're able to ghost it.
But it does not look anything like the card.
No. Literally, it's going to be one of your hand doodads or something. Wherever you have a transmitter, like you have to get a close proximity transmitter, and what you've been able to ghost is just it's just a different signal code. So it's not going to show up as the Atheon's card. It's not going to show up as anyone's card. It's going to show up as an unregistered card.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Well,
That's something.
yeah. I mean, that is better than nothing.
Should help you get around at least a little bit.
Well, it will work in a pinch if I need to use it to escape or something to that effect.
And the one you've ghosted it's also a yellow clearance, so it's a civilian clearance.
Okay.
All right, I will hand you back your original card.
Yeah. So what do? So you have a S4 has the ability to ghost a card.
Oh, I thought he already did.
No. So he can project the signal to activate something as if it was a yellow card.
Yes, but if anybody's paying attention, it will register as an unregistered card.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't look like a card. So
right, it's just a dongle.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, basically, now the plan is for S4 to go in and.
Oh, I thought you were going to sell my services to the.
Well, that was the two options because
First Order.
Because you said that like I think completely accurately that there's two ways to go about it. You could sell the services, but then there's a part where
There's a chance of them actually putting a restraining bolt on him.
Yeah, or you can pretend that you've already been sold, but then you have to sneak around from the get-go more.
Right. I'm going to leave it up to S4. It's kind of his call.
Okay, in that case, I am going to put the First Order restraining bolt on, and I will pretend to already have been activated.
Captain, would it be possible for one of you to ascertain which way I would need to go, so I don't need to ask any questions? I can just go that way?
Sure.
I'm sure we could work on that.
I mean, did I see that? Could I have gathered that from walking around already?
Well, thing one is the entry into the rest of the station. So that's the first thing. Like, the only way to anything other than the docking bay is through that one entryway with the four troopers and an officer, and you use a card to get through it, and they're watching. That's the first thing. Past that, you haven't gone past that, so you're not sure.
Right.
So we would all need to go through there with our actual identity card first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's imminently doable.
Sure. So we go there, and from there we should be able to determine where you go after that.
Well, I mean, I guess we can wait on that guy to come back, or we can just go do that now.
Let's just go do that now.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you cross the hangar bay again, going towards the large. It's like a series of doors, because that would be too crazy to single file with the cards. So it's a series of doors, kind of like at an airport, kind of gate terminal kind of thing, and you walk up and you see people in front of you casually pull out their cards or have them on lanyards and swipe them past a little key reader in front of each door.
Let's follow suit.
Okay.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yep, and you pass through. As you go through, there is a massive hallway, effectively. trailing off to the left and trailing off to the right in a nice gradual curve. So by the time you get about, 30 yards down, you actually lose sight of anything past that curve. There's a little bitty, makeshift information kiosk thing in front of you. It basically says, freshers this way, food this way, the bar is this way. Mostly those kind of facilities. There are signs that are more personnel oriented, but they mostly say this way to Hangar Bay D, F, G, H. Take turbo lift or take the turbo access way to get through to Hangar Bay A, B, stuff like that. Nothing that says this way to a Star Destroyer. So.
Okay. I guess we go towards one of the hangars, right?
Works for me.
So you start walking. Let's say you go to, I think I said you guys were in F or something. You go to the next hangar bay over. You do see that the doors have been sealed. There is a single trooper there.
Okay, I try my card.
It does not react, and the troopers. Please move along.
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to get back to my ship here. This door seems to be jammed, and I keep trying my card over and over.
I'm sorry, civilian. The other hangar bays have been on lockdown. You're only permitted to be the one that you should have entered into.
Wait, this isn't the one we came in? And I tried again.
No. No, this is definitely where we parked.
I'm going to have to ask you to leave the area, please.
What? We're trying to go out of this area. We're going into our area. This is where we parked.
So you're saying this isn't the hangar we parked in?
No.
Excuse me, Trooper. I understand you're dealing with these nice people, but I'm trying to get back to work. Which way is it from here?
Deception check?
Yeah.
If we keep bothering him, will it be easier?
I believe he's trying to say that he's not with y'all.
Yes.
So it will not be a group.
Okay. Yeah. But if we keep bothering the guy and distracting him, is
Can I
it
get a blue
easier?
die?
Yeah, you get a blue die.
Black die.
Yeah, you get a blue die.
Okay.
So
I guess he would have a black die, but so blue die.
Blue die for you. Yep.
Okay, difficulty
2. Trooper by himself is only 2.
1 success.
Okay. Where are you trying to get their droid?
I'm working on the starboard engine.
Yes. If you go far enough down, you should have come across a turbo lift. It should take you up to the main access way. From there, it's just the engineering staff up there can direct you to.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trooper.
Yes. Now I need the two of you to go back to the designated civilian areas immediately.
Fine. I guess it's back this way.
I could have sworn this was ours.
We turn around and walk back.
Why don't you ever write it down?
For the umpteenth time, what's the name of the MacGuffin? I'll actually write it down this time.
Nano current relay conduits.
Alright, so I am going to go down the hallway and look for the turbo lift.
You find a personnel-only turbo lift.
Alright, I try to access it. Is it open?
No.
No. I need some sort of cylinder, or code cylinder.
It would still be the card system, because
yes, but I have a civilian one, not the right kind.
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to wait.
Okay.
Wait for someone to come through.
All right.
Because I belong here, so I'm going to act like I belong here.
All right. An amount of time passes. What do you two do?
I mean, we just
sounds like you should go get a drink.
Yeah, we just head back and wait for them to call us to negotiate the prices for those relay conduits.
Okay. You go to the cantina. They call it a bar. It's real weird. Mostly civilians. There's a little bit of staff here. Not a lot. You can assume there's probably a staff-only, rec area, effectively. But maybe the people who are in the lower areas just choose to be here with the common folk. They are, you can tell, Kamaya, with your many days of working as a bartender on Hoban, and then probably a few weeks while you're in flight school, they are running dangerously low on all of their alcohols.
Oh no!
Yeah. New side quest.
Not the alcohol.
Not the booze.
Anything but that.
It's mostly it's a little. It's less lively than you've seen almost any cantina, because people are really bored and they've been here for days and days and days.
Is there a sabacc games going on somewhere?
Yeah, it's kind of lazily, they're playing for effectively like, you know what? Yes, there is a sabacc game going on. And what you can see is that they are playing for a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you look at the table, you glance at the table, and on the table alone is 140,000 credits in the current pot.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
For scale, that's enough to buy a pretty
ship?
Yeah, a pretty good shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Dang. I don't have that kind of cash. Or I would go play.
So you can sit and drink for a while, you listen to conversations kind of go on a bit, and your little comm bead kind of starts to blink a bit.
I look at it, answer it?
You look at it, and where you would usually press the button to talk, it doesn't start recording. You see a small little digital display pop up, and it says offer 40,000 credits, and there's two buttons: accept and off.
That sounds good, but based on the information I got earlier, is that about right?
That's a healthy chunk.
Okay, I hit accept.
All right. It gives you a location just on the edge of the hangar bay where credits can be picked up.
Okay, I head over there. I tell Kamaya, I just got the offer, 40,000.
Not bad.
I'm gonna go pick up the credits. You staying here or you coming with me?
For scale again, I think that might be the cost of all of y'all's weapon ship upgrades that you bought from Ushal, I think.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Bobby, you were Ushal. Is that about right?
You think I checked the cost? Sure. I'm sure Ushal knows.
That's why I'm asking Ushal.
Ushal's not here today. Ushal's back on Julia Station.
We cut
if you
back.
don't talk to Ushal, you're gonna have to.
We cut back to Julia Station.
We can't go to Julia Station. We have to stay here. We promised the First Order, so.
And we keep our word.
And we would never break a promise to the First Order. Those are fine, upstanding Sith-spit scum.
You can't even say it with a straight face.
I'm gonna go pick up the credits. Did you want to stay here, or do you want to go with me?
I'm gonna stay here. I'll keep an eye on everything and see if anything weird happens.
All right.
I guess.
Everybody's on their own.
Split the party as many ways as we can.
Remy, you go back to the hangar bay. You swipe your key card. You go in. Off to the side, you didn't really notice it before. There is like a series of tables with a few more troopers, and there are 2 officers. Ooh. Yeah, very, very rarely you'll see somebody kind of come up. they'll hand in their comm bead and they'll get a little bitty lockbox.
Somebody as in non-trooper.
Yeah, civilian. A civilian will walk up, hand them their comm bead. Yeah.
Okay.
You notice that if you wait a moment, you never see anyone from Surratt's Imports ever come to this table.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I go ahead and pick up my box.
Hello, civilian.
Hello.
Identification bead, please.
Here you go.
He puts it into like a little holder, waits a moment. After another moment, the other officer goes back to these racks and cases and stuff like that, comes over, slides over a small Dursteel lockbox that's the exact same size for everybody's, and slides it over to you.
Yeah, I saw a whole lot of Surratt's ships outside, but once we got in here, I didn't see any. Are they in a separate area?
You're gonna try to have a conversation with an officer. Let me think.
Well, we walk up to him and we click A.
That is not for you to know. This is the agreed upon amount of credits, and I would appreciate it if you moved along.
Oh, yeah, sure. I didn't figure you knew anyway, so.
Above your pay grade, huh? Well, anyway.
All right. So he takes the credits.
Yep.
Or he takes the box.
Yep.
So the table with the officers or something?
So there are like tables. There's like a table here, and there's an officer and there are troopers around. And so the one officer took your bead, put it into a little receptacle, and then another officer behind him went and got the money and brought it up to you.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a payroll. Like if you ever see like military payroll, they just kind of line up and get stuff. You have a little lockbox of money.
I take it back to the ship.
Okay.
And I open it.
You open it.
Just making sure.
There's a goofy amount of credits in there.
Okay.
The box is not full. It looks like they have one size O box, and they just give you the amount of money that you are supposed to get. You can count it. It is correct.
Okay. Just because I'm being paranoid, I split up the money and I hide it in different places in the ship.
Okay.
And I leave a small amount, a notable amount, but still small amount, in the lockbox.
100 credits.
And I kind of hide that. Like, I hide it a little bit, like, not like in like a hidden compartment or something, but like...
You hide it underneath one of the conference table desks or something, conference table chairs or something.
Yeah.
Fun note, what's his name? What was the kid's name?
The pirate kid?
Yeah.
Jado?
Jado showed you some pretty good hiding bits because that's where he hid from the entire party.
Yeah. So I use those.
Okay.
I'm actually I check out the box. Like, is there like a beacon on it or like any kind of technology? Is it just a plain box?
Give me a perception.
And what's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be 2 and a black die.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I was just making sure I didn't have any bonuses in my talents anywhere, and I don't. So 1 success.
So, yeah, you empty the box, you turn it over, you start peeling up the stuff, and you do find a short-range locator.
Okay. I leave it on the ship for now.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm actually just gonna hang out on the ship as well.
Okay. All right.
You could play ping pong.
If you leave the ship, I want to know how many of the credits you take with you if you take credits with you.
Okay.
S4. After oh gosh, I don't know, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
I have infinite patience.
A person does start to turn the corner in a gray jumpsuit with blue trim.
I stand in front of the door like I'm waiting for it.
All right. Yeah, it's a Rhodian, if that helps. Mm-hmm. And just start, like, he's mostly looking at the ground, walking up. Once he gets up to you in the lift. Oh, I didn't see. All right. He presses, he presses his gold card up to the lift, up to the first order installed security system. And as a turbo lift starts to come down.
Okay, I wait.
New add-on?
I turn my head in a very creepy manner and look at him with my run red eye in addition, and I point at the restraining bolt on my chest. That's all I do.
No. All right. Unit, do you know where you're going to?
I have been reprogrammed to install nano current relay conduits.
Oh, all right, yeah. Do you know how to get up there?
Negative.
All right, I'll show you. All right. The lift opens.
Thank you.
He walks in.
I follow him.
All right. Turbo lift starts to rise. If you had ears, they would pop a little. It goes up for a while. You're pretty sure. I mean, you know, the station is big, and you're taking this Wonkavator up and curves to the left a little, and then up some more, curves to the right a little. And as you start to get to the very top part, the lift shaft is you can see through it, and you do see that you're starting to move up to the surface of the Star Destroyer. The turbo lift opens up, and you see people milling about. It looks like that this is kind of a staging place of a lot of different work teams, and that
so they're getting organized and getting prepared and going to their different work sites.
There is a constant. There's a bigger freight turbo lift across this pretty sizable room, and it is constant. Like every 2 minutes, a shipment of something is coming up, and then a big grouping of these workers take it and go, and then within that 2 minutes, more people show up, coalesce, shipment arrives, and then they go with it.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Yes. Very well efficient, very well organized machine.
Yeah. This Rhodian walks in. Do you know whose work crew you're supposed to be on?
Negative. I am to install nano current relay conduits.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm supervising a few teams. You can go over. Do you have any paperwork?
I am to install nano current relay conduits.
Oh.
And I point at the restraining bolt.
Yes. It's very nice. Restraining.
I am to install nano current relay conduits.
Give me a...
Deception?
Yeah, give me a deception.
Difficulty?
Average. Just normal average.
Can I have a blue die for the restraining bolt?
Oh, yeah. No, that's... Yeah. No, yeah. You got a blue die for the restraining bolt.
Deception, I have a yellow and a green. Bloop. 1 success.
Ooh. All right, you can come with me. So he walks through. You see a few people kind of like when he walks by. So his blue trim, not everybody has that blue trim. And it looks like when he walks through these groups, it looks like you know this kind of stuff. The way he's operating and stuff like that, it looks like he's probably in charge of a handful of crews.
Okay.
Yeah. So they kind of do turn their head, make sure everything, you know, people acknowledge him as he's walking through this thing.
He's somebody of importance.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a name tag.
Yeah, that'd be good. You should check the list of names.
It says Angwar.
Angwar.
Yeah.
I will follow Angwar.
Yep. All right. Yeah. So he walks across. You kind of stay, just a step behind to the right of him. As he kind of moves around, he talks to some people. How's everything going? Good? Yeah, all right. How's the... No, we got to do that quicker than that. All right, yeah. And then you do see, a group of people kind of coalesce again. And there's a few droids in there. There's about 3 or 4 droids and about 12 mechanics. Or engineers, I mean. And you see coming up the freight lift, those are a whole bunch of nanocurrent relay conduits.
Perfect.
Yep. All right, come on, boys, let's go. So, 3 of the droids take a point at the corners of the freight pallet, and you are kind of motioned by Angwar to go and help with that too.
Okay, I will do as directed.
All right. So with the 4 droids at the corners of them, and then 2 of them look like they're branded Getz constructor droids. So they have the same kind of gray, and they have black trim on their bits.
Okay,
and
so these droids were already here.
Yes, another one looks like it could have been like an enforcer droid, like it was used to kind of be
but it's
muscle.
Been reprogrammed.
Yeah, and there is a restraining bolt on it.
Good, I'll fit right in.
Yeah. So
as was the intention.
as was yes. The 4 droids, one of which is you, kind of guide this massive pallet of nanocurrent relay conduits, and start going down one of the long walkways towards one of the repair places on the Star Destroyer.
Okay.
Angwar is with that group. He's leading its specialty. Give me a perception.
Difficulty?
Hard.
2 failures and 2 advantages.
Okay.
I am very intent on my work, as I'm supposed to be.
So, you don't notice a specific thing, but what you do notice is that when the workers are far enough away from the droids, they speak more freely.
Oh.
And that includes their droids. Thanks for listening. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or on Twitter at No Match Podcast. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes and visit our Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. No Match for a Blaster is a podcast Morality Plays. Star Wars, Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are made by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our theme is by Kevin MacLeod, sound effects by Tristan Longren, Vindus, and Akmov. And I would like to thank my amazing players. Brandon playing Remy Drobash, Gerald playing S2E07, and Bobby playing Kamaya Saris. And of course I'd like to thank you, our listeners, and we'll see you again soon in a galaxy far, far away.